Tofu is a versatile and widely loved ingredient in the world of plant-based cooking. Its neutral flavor and ability to absorb flavors make it a favorite among vegans and vegetarians. One of the most popular ways to prepare tofu is by making it crispy, which adds a delightful texture to any dish. In this article, we will explore various methods and techniques to achieve perfectly crispy tofu. Before we dive into the cooking process, let's briefly discuss what tofu is. Tofu, also known as bean curd, is made by coagulating soy milk and pressing the resulting curds into solid blocks. It is a staple in Asian cuisine and has gained popularity worldwide as a nutritious and protein-rich ingredient. To make crispy tofu, there are a few essential steps to follow. First, you need to choose the right type of tofu. Firm or extra firm tofu is preferred for achieving a crispy texture. These types of tofu have lower water content and a denser texture, which allows them to hold their shape better during the cooking process. Once you have the tofu, the next step is to remove excess moisture. This is crucial because moisture is the enemy of crispy tofu. To do this, you can either use a tofu press or a DIY method using paper towels and a heavy object. Simply place the tofu between layers of paper towels, place a plate or cutting board on top, and place a heavy object, such as a book or a pan, on top of it. Let it sit for about 15 to 30 minutes to allow the paper towels to absorb the moisture. After pressing the tofu, you can proceed to cut it into your desired shape. Cubes, rectangles, or triangles are common options. It's important to note that smaller pieces tend to crisp up more evenly and quickly than larger ones. Now comes the fun part, seasoning the tofu. You can marinate it to infuse it with flavor or coat it with a dry rub. Popular marinades include soy sauce, tamari, sesame oil, garlic, ginger, and various spices. Alternatively, you can create a dry coating by mixing together cornstarch, flour, or breadcrumbs with your preferred seasonings. To cook the tofu, you have a few options. The most common methods are baking, pan frying, or air frying. Let's explore each of these methods. Baking. Preheat your oven to around 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 200 degrees Celsius. Line a baking sheet with parchment paper or lightly grease it. Place the seasoned tofu on the baking sheet, making sure to leave some space between each piece. Bake for approximately 20 to 30 minutes, flipping the tofu halfway through, until it turns golden brown and crispy. Pan frying. Heat a non-stick skillet or frying pan over medium-high heat. Add a small amount of oil or cooking spray to prevent sticking. Place the tofu pieces in the pan, making sure not to overcrowd them. Cook for about 4 to 6 minutes per side, or until they develop a golden brown crust. Adjust the heat as needed to prevent burning. Air frying. Preheat your air fryer to the recommended temperature. Lightly coat the tofu with oil or cooking spray to promote crispiness. Place the tofu in a single layer in the air fryer basket. Cook for approximately 15 to 20 minutes, shaking the basket or flipping the tofu halfway through, until it becomes crispy and brown. No matter which cooking method you choose, it's important to keep an eye on the tofu and adjust the cooking time and heat as needed. The goal is to achieve a golden brown and crispy exterior while keeping the interior tender and flavorful. Once the tofu is cooked to perfection, you can serve it in various ways. Crispy tofu makes a great addition to salads, stir-fries, noodle dishes, rice bowls, and even sandwiches. Its crunchy texture provides a satisfying contrast to other ingredients, adding a delightful element to your meals. To take your crispy tofu to the next level, you can pair it with sauces or dressings that complement its flavor. Some popular options include sweet and sour sauce, teriyaki sauce, peanut sauce, or a tangy vinaigrette. Drizzle the sauce over the crispy tofu or serve it as a dipping sauce on the side. Another way to enhance the flavor of crispy tofu is by adding it to dishes with bold and aromatic ingredients. Toss it with vegetables, herbs, and spices, or incorporate it into flavorful sauces and curries. The tofu's crispy exterior will help it stand out and bring a satisfying crunch to each bite. When it comes to storing leftover crispy tofu, it's best to refrigerate it in an airtight container. While the texture may soften slightly upon refrigeration, you can reheat it in a hot skillet or oven to regain some of its crispiness. In conclusion, making crispy tofu is a simple and rewarding process that can elevate your vegan and vegetarian dishes. By following the steps of pressing, seasoning, and cooking using methods like baking, pan frying, or air frying, you can achieve a deliciously crispy exterior while retaining a tender and flavorful interior. Experiment with different seasonings, sauces, and serving ideas to create a variety of tasty dishes using crispy tofu. Enjoy the versatility and plant-based goodness of this protein-rich ingredient in your vegan cooking adventures.